Hey, Ree. Hey, Ray.
Hey, Cosella.
How you doing? You all good? Do you hear me?
I actually cannot hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Oh,
I can hear
got
you.
it.
Okay,
How are
good.
you?
I think I'm wearing my Pixel buds, so they're
Nice.
always working perfectly. And since I sometimes I have different interfaces on my laptop, and I
Mm-hmm.
switch from one to another.
Mm-hmm.
Nice sunset as usual.
Wait, you mean right now? I thought you were in Canada.
No, no. Yes, I am. But you always have the same background, and I know you're
Oh, you
in
mean the San
South. Yeah,
Francisco sunset? I
yeah,
didn't even
yeah.
notice.
No, no,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
feel like the
really
sunset
bright.
here is always beautiful, to be honest.
It is, yeah. Unless when it's raining, I guess. Because I never been really where it was a full rainy week.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I came, it was pretty nice in terms
Mm,
of weather. So
I
I don't
see.
know how frequent it rains. Mm.
But yeah, and also like Foster City, they also have very good view
Yeah,
when it's like close to downtown. Uh,
exactly. The whole, even outside, the pond. I forgot the park on
mhm.
to the left side of the office, like
Yeah,
the
for
road
sure.
side. Yeah, the sunset is nice
The
too,
lake is incredible.
right? Lucky you.
Well, thank you. Like you. Likewise.
When I'm around.
Hi, there's new people coming.
Yeah.
Hi. Do you wanna say some words? Uh, that'll be
Uh, n n yeah, nice to meet you guys. This is Wayne Gao from Solidam, and I attended the last time meeting. I have to attend this regularly
Oh,
to yeah. But I'm sorry I did not have time to test the fix, but I believe it will uh fix the problem or that I think the memory configuration is small in a in a in a Docker. Uh, but I'm sorry I have not time to retest that recently.
mhm. No
But
worries,
but I
no
want
worries. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I remember the problem you mentioned before. I think that problem has already been fixed,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
has been fixed correctly. But yeah, no worries at all. The support is like you'll be here. That's the huge support for the community.
yeah. And if I got some any customer and I will suggest this production stack and I may have more support and discussion with you.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure. Anytime I'm available.
Thank you.
In terms of the money wise. Oh yeah, by the way, may I ask, where are you based? Are you based in US?
I'm based in Shanghai, and
Oh, okay, I see.
but my manager is US and in the US, and uh,
Yeah,
so
okay.
I actually yeah I can leverage the global resources.
Oh yeah, yeah, thanks for that. Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
need more people to contribute to the project.
I
Yeah,
see.
I will send the meeting notes to our group chat. So if you wanna take a look, or yeah, can you also like fill up the attendee in the meeting notes? Let me get.
Yeah. Um, do you need my email?
Yeah, anything you want to share, just to let other people know about you.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the meeting is also recorded, so we will upload to the YouTube later to let everyone see.
Okay.
Because I know some of the people they don't have time at this slot, so they were asking for the video recording. So we will upload the video record to the YouTube later to be accessed by everyone. And let me share. All right. Yeah, so let's get started. I think for this meeting, we are mainly going to talk about our 2026 roadmap and some of the recent PR that has been merged to the main branch. Um, and also anything that you guys want to drop here to let everyone know about it. So first is our 2026 roadmap. So for 2026, we will mainly focus on the several parts. The first one is to the core of this project, the router part. And the second is another important part of this project is the deployment of the whole vLLM stack. And the third part is that because we are seeing a lot of modern workloads like multimodality, like agentic workload, we want to provide an RL for short, and we want to provide more support for this kind of modern workloads to better do inference or do even post-training, this kind of stuff. And the fourth part is safety and security. Even though it is really, really important in the industry and in every company, um, I would say for open source project, there's not that much we can do. We can do like very basic stuff, but for sure it's a very important part as part of our project. And the last part is the maintenance related like CI/CD and GitHub Actions, tutorials, this kind of stuff. For the router part, we want to mainly focus on the disaggregated preview. We already have a demo of one preview, one decode. However, we want to extend it to multiple preview, multiple decode. There are some PR here that are trying to address this problem. Um, but yeah, so the PR hasn't been merged. It requires some review, but even for that PR, I don't think it is sufficient enough to achieve the XPYD setting here. So for sure, there will be following PR addressing the related issue in the XPYD disaggregated preview scenario. Except from that, we also want to support providers like OpenAI and Anthropic so that we can have more, the router can have more compatibility with the outside providers, especially Anthropic and OpenAI. And also for this milestone or for this task, there are some PR that's trying to do it. I know right now we have like basic integration with Anthropic, like slash messages, this kind of endpoint. But for sure, we need more, and we need more. I would say native support in the router part to this kind of provider when it is not an open source model. And I am assuming that we can have more advanced routing based on the Anthropic and OpenAI endpoint so that we can have more robust way to handle the failure. And another one is the router side request queuing support based on what we have right now, because we are observing that for different vLLM backends, there might be backlog. So that we want to have this kind of request queuing to have a more robust or more advanced queuing algorithm to support our vLLM stack backends. And the other stuff is deprioritized, but I think it is still worth to mention about it. It is more towards research stuff, I would say. So the first one is predictive routing based on our future workloads. So right now, the routing part in the current setup, it's very basic, like round robin, like session based. This is or like typical workloads. However, we are seeing a lot of different workloads that have very different characteristic uh, than the traditional workloads. For example, the agent, they might have a um, long calling request. The interval is really long because the agent, they will do some like tool use or do calling some tools instead for just calling the LLM itself. So based on this kind of workloads, we might have a more predictive routing algorithm to tackle different kinds of workloads in the modern scenario. And the other, like priority routing and router performance, we has already been stressed before. However, there's still lack of support on this. We want to have more support on different kinds of routing logic and the router performance itself. And in terms of the advanced deployment, we will have first, very important is the advanced auto scaling. Right now, we have really, really basic auto scaling using the kata, but right now the matrix itself is really naive. We want to have a more advanced auto scaling so that when people have a spike workloads, we can tackle around this. And also in terms of our CRD and gateway inference extension, this is really important, especially the CRD, because the Kubernetes community has a lot of, they lean on this way. They lean on CRD to deploy the whole stack. Right now, our CRD is not mature enough. For example, we don't have KV cache, we don't cache aware routing, we don't have prefix aware routing, we don't have disaggregated preview. There's a lot of stuff we are lack of right now in the current CRD deployment. Um, Aside from that, we want to make the current deployment more advanced, like our Helm, our CRD, our gateway inference. They are not actually Kubernetes native, to be honest. I am assuming that in the future, there are like a lot of PRs actually are doing it to extend the vLLM stack, like the Helm chart, to be more compatible with the Kubernetes own way, like have more like advanced deployment, like service monitor, the Prometheus stack, included in our Helm chart instead of another part. For this part, actually, there is a PR that are doing this. I think that PR is modifying some of the EKS and AKS deployment. Maybe Coursera, you can take a look at it uh, if you have some free time. Yes. And the other, you want to talk about it?
No, I haven't had the time to look at it so far, but do you think that I have been doing before? Because I know that the Helm chart was not including neither the dashboard nor the service monitor. So I
Mm-hmm.
was just creating the resource, the service monitor within my deployment, whether it's in like AKS, Nebius, and also the common one that's CoreWeave as well. So
Okay.
basically, I was creating them separately
Mm.
within my deployment stack because there's no way to add it in the Helm chart.
Yes,
So if there's a PR, if this PR is going to include it in the Helm chart, the request would be to allow it to be not enabled by default,
yes,
just
of
in
course.
case, in order not to break whatever maybe teams have been using so far by doing it outside of the Helm chart, not break that part in case they already have like templates and blueprints already being sort of a CI/CD since the beginning of maybe using that stack so far, right? So if you put enabled disabled by default, that means that if you have that already in your Kubernetes cluster, it's not going to conflict with it. If you have a deployment already, if you have created the service monitor for vLLM, you're not going to come like there's no overlap just because you're using maybe a new version of the Helm, as opposed
Yes.
to it's like if you say like if by default the value of service monitor is false, then it's fine. So the Helm, you say the value is true, and then you may define, for example, like the pod selector if you want to. I don't know so far like the primitives that have been added in the PR in the service monitor, but at some point like service monitor would have to guess which pod am I sort of listening to, like the kind of labels that are listed. So if it's disabled by default, so fine, wherever installation that are using already vLLM production stack, if they, for example, use the new Helm chart, there's nothing breaking. But if it's enabled by default, then whoever has like a Kubernetes cluster plus vLLM already deployed and running the new version, it may break something, right? So like that's the thing maybe that would be interesting to check. I
Yeah,
haven't seen it yet,
yeah,
but I'll
I
be checking
think
eventually
yes,
and
I
share that
think
with
by default, sorry to interrupt, but I
no,
think
no.
by default it's always false, like you don't enable this kind of other Helm chart. But I am pointing out because they are actually, can you see my screen? They are actually changing the Terraform file here. So
But they're changing which Terraform, by the way. Which
AKS and
I
GKE
haven't
that
seen.
you contributed before.
So I didn't touch GKE, and
Okay.
GKE was not included in the service monitor. I don't think so. They were
Oh no,
maybe
I'm
doing
not.
that using the script.
Yeah, it's not
You're
about
talking
the
about
service
the
monitor. It's
tutorials,
about
right?
the Prometheus, the whole observability stack.
Yeah. So I have to check back the PR because I thought it was just adding something to the Helm chart, but not to the tutorials of the deployment. Then
Mm,
I haven't like I didn't I couldn't guess that part then. I
okay.
thought it was more a change, like you added a new block in the Helm chart, like a new
Mm-hmm.
template,
Mm-hmm.
where you would decide to add the service monitor because that was missing from the Helm chart initially. That's
Yes,
why I created separately.
yes, I think that was the intention. But I think what he did is to delete some of the parts in the observability, that directory, because they are no in use anymore. And because of that, it needs to change some of the Terraform file here. I mean, like,
I wonder why would he choose to change the Terraform tutorials?
yeah, like I said, uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's a great questions. Why are you changing the tutorial? Um,
Yeah, because like you'd have the CLI version of the deploy tutorials. You have the Terraform, so there would be change everywhere. Then if like that PR would, I mean, you can change the Helm chart, but then tutorials can still work with that. If its default is false, there is no conflict. But you don't need to change that part because EKS and what GK and AKS they were done maybe last year June or something. They
mhm.
were very basic. and I had my own version
Mm-hmm.
that it was not worth completely changing
Mm-hmm.
because the previous tutorial was not as expensive and I would say exhaustive in terms of features and enterprise best practices. But I think the team decided to let it as is
Mm-hmm.
because it was basic.
Yep.
Uh, and then I added on top, like any other cloud provider, I was adding from then, like a
Mm-hmm.
new platform every time.
Okay.
Right. But if I have to change something, I wouldn't have necessarily changed the Azure and GK. GK is not, I didn't add the GK tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own, but the original was from someone else, I think from South Korea, that has contributed with Azure and GKA.
I see.
But technically, if you change the Helm chart, there's very little need to go back to the tutorial of Terraform and change everything because so far they're independent. Like
Mm-hmm.
they can still run with that configuration. Uh, yeah, otherwise that person would have to change the CLI part, the script part as well, I guess.
I think he did, but yeah, if you have
That's
some
a lot of
time,
changes.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
I will
know.
let him
If you
know.
have some time, could you like leave some comments here
Yes,
and let
I
me
will
know?
have to, yes, because like that's a lot of changes and like there's no way to confirm that the changes will not break anything in those tutorials. Because the goal of the tutorials is to ensure that it will work by default for anyone who is trying the stack. It would work because it has been tested according
Yeah.
to the specific environment. But if you change one part of the environment, there's no guarantee that it will deploy correctly, especially with Terraform as it's very sensitive. Uh, I don't need to tell you how sometimes from a deployed apply to another, it can get complex. But yeah, I'll have a look and see.
Yeah, I
Maybe
have sent
something.
the PR in our group chat. It would
Okay.
be great if you have some time to take a quick look and leave some comments there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and keep
That's Terraform,
going.
GKE, and APS. Okay. Good.
Yes, and for our third part, the modern workloads, we are seeing like vLLM Omni, this kind of inference engine that support multimodality model. However, we don't have enough support for this kind of multimodality and agent workloads. So we are willing to provide more support to multimodality and agentic workloads. And for the RL workloads, I would say it is a very experimental. It is, I think it's really, really new right now. The RL training, especially agentic RL training infra, the RL post-training infra. Um, I'm not for sure that it is suitable in the production stack, but I would expect there are some basic experimental support for the post-training agentic RL workloads. For the safety and security, we have very basic like request migration and PI detection, so that we can provide like basic reference for safety and security for the industry. For the last part is CI/CD and tutorials. We want to have a more comprehensive CI/CD, not only for our testing but also for our release. Um, and including Docker images, the Helm chart, all the different kind of stuff that can be released all at once. And more tutorials, it is very important for this task. We don't have enough tutorials right now. We have a lot of example YAML file, but no one actually knows about it. So in order to expose all of this, we will add more tutorials covering more like cloud platforms, different features, the security preview, KV cache, CADA auto-scaling, all this kind of stuff. We want to add more tutorials for everyone to know about it, to test about it, to try. So yes, this is pretty much of our 2026 roadmap. It is a lot of them. Um, yeah, let's see. And if let's see what we can do in our 2026 year for our vLLM production stack. Aside from that, I want to mention some of the PR that has been merged recently right now. So first is there's a PR that bumped the versions. Yeah, anyway. So we released a new version just recently, 0.1.10. To try about it, I think this release solved the problem of the OM queued for router resources not efficient enough, sufficient enough. And the second is there are more support for multiple modality. I believe that I believe that this PR is concerning about the multi-part format. Yeah, multi-part form requests for different kinds of input, different types of input, I would say. There had been like transcription input. However, this one it's to add more like image for multi-part form requests to support more multi-modality part and the integration with the vLLM Omni. And for this part, we recently merged for log format so that, yeah, so before it's just like log to the CLI. So here we want to have a JSON option so that we can have structured logging that can be fetched from the other provider or the other components like Elasticsearch or OpenTelemetry, this kind of stuff. Yes, this is about observability. I think it is pretty useful, and it actually closes a long, long time ago issue that one of our community member uh, raised about it. Yes. Yeah, this is all the updates from my side. Do you guys want to drop anything here, or do you guys have any comments or suggestions? Just drop anything that you want to share with all of us.
Um, I'd like to maybe add a PR where, speaking of tutorials, I submitted a PR for a new platform supported by a deployment of vLLM production stack, which is called Wave. I know I've been talking about it weeks ago, and the tutorial is ready and just awaiting Merck.
Yes, I
Wave.
saw that PR. Um, I made a small comment there. It's about the git ignore. Uh, I am not sure
Send that
why
content.
there's another git ignore in that specific directory. If there's no reason, could you remove that git ignore?
Which location?
I'm sorry, what?
Because I sent an explanation on that get ignore within the root model of stack.
Oh,
I sent
wait.
an explanation for it. Did you see it?
I don't see where
You
is
don't
it.
see it? Why? Because I actually shared. Let me see. That's weird because I replied to you the same day.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, yeah. I don't know how GitHub is working lately. Sometimes
Yeah,
it
I heard
doesn't
that like
connect with
GitHub has some
us.
like glitch recently.
Yeah, because like if I share my screen and you can see that I replied to you right under your comment. It was like the same day, so 4 days ago. Can you refresh? This is very weird. Because if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen and you'd see that
Okay.
I replied to you the same day, literally. Okay, let's do this. So on my side, oh, you actually disabled screen sharing somehow.
Oh, really?
It seems
Let
that the host
me.
disabled screen sharing.
呃 I just changed the setting. Can you try again?
Yes, now it works. Give me a sec. All right. Do you see the screen? This is your comment, right?
Oh, wow. Oh, wait, it says appending.
Yeah, pending, but I did comment though. Pending is mostly maybe the question or the issue with like the conversation is pending, but it doesn't mean that the answer is not sent. Which is I can send you a link and tell me if it. Well, I cannot even link it. That's weird.
Yeah,
Okay, let me.
I think it might not be sent out to the internet,
Oh,
probably.
really? That's weird. Okay, if I do this, why wouldn't it? Because the PR is public, so that's kind of weird not to. Okay,
Maybe can you try the update comment? Maybe not. Okay.
okay. Can I do like this? I think you would see this one.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So what I meant is for TF vars, is my deployment is relying on the Terraform vars and the environment variables. So like the git ignore with every Terraform deployment
Mm-hmm.
is very useful to avoid anybody to push um, environment variables, credentials, anything related to deploying in your own account to go to the wherever repo you're
Okay,
pushing
I
or
see. I see. So it's
right.
a git
So the
ignore that is specific to the
to
Terraform
Terraform,
deployment.
yes. And TF statics, for example, you deployed already, but you want to upload your stack or your configuration to whatever project, anything in public, then the git ignore will allow you not to share neither your credentials nor the Terraform state, which is generated. It's like the copy of the end state. You have your cluster, your vLLM is deployed, and Terraform would generate a Terraform state. That Terraform state will contain everything, like the ID of your clusters, the ID, like the IAM configuration, whatever you deployed will be configured, will be shared. Like that's like a sort of a copy of your state. That's what they call the state. Okay. So include all the resources and their IDs and stuff. So these are like really, really sensitive information. Right. Terraform is the binaries that are downloaded every time you specify a version of Terraform or any provider within your deployment. It will deploy all the binaries and the Terraform slash, right? And that's usually it can go to 100, 200 megs of files. So the git ignore would just make sure that all those unnecessary files are not pushed when you commit.
Okay,
Most of the
sounds
time, that's
good. Okay. Um, Let me think. It can serve as a template for the user, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, within the
It's
template.
just that when the user git clone this repository and when they try with the tutorial, the git will read the root directory git ignore instead of this git ignore if I understand it correctly.
Yeah, yeah. So like if let's say they clone the whole repo and then they want to move one of the tutorials and then they want to like move it somewhere else in another repo, like the git ignore would just sort of pass the sort of the tone to keep it safe for that configuration to be moved somewhere else in case they set the variables
Yeah,
like the profile.
yeah, my point is this git ignore will not be read because there's another git ignore in the root directory of vLLM project. Um, Maybe I'm not sure. Can you merge or put this content in the root git ignore as well?
Of the main project.
VLM production stack, this project,
Uh,
I think it also has a git ignore.
I know it does. I know. But you can have git ignore in the subfolders as well. You know that.
Yeah, you can, but I'm not sure. Can you confirm that uh, when I am when I clone this project and that subdirectory git ignore can be read by the git instead of the root directory?
No, it will not necessarily because it depends what you're pushing. Like the
Oh wait.
when you commit, if you commit things that are on top, it would actually
Oh.
read more or less everything that you're having. I actually even wrote a blog about get ignored, um, like bad examples. And usually it's like more a collection. It's not an ignore. It's more like a concatenation of all the get ignores.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I just took a quick look about the git ignore in our production stack, the root one. I think it has the Terraform, but I'm not sure it's completed. It has some like TF vars, TF JSON,
okay.
override, TF state, lock.info, resource, this kind of stuff.
Yeah, right. So the this mask is any subfolders.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't remember exactly how you know this you sort of distinguish between the masks. Which one is like root based only? Which one is going recursively or not? You know.
Oh, I think if you use the wildcard like the previous one, like double star, it will ignore all the subdirectories.
Like this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one is any subdirectory. So
Yes.
yeah, but if it's one, then is it like local directory or go? Is it recursive? Is it like one level or?
Oh, I think for this rule it's just dot Terraform. However, there are TF vars like here. It will exclude all the TF vars. But
Anyway,
yeah, I think there are
recursive.
some, they might have some like that has been neglected in this file. Um, if you want, could you merge some of it?
Okay, I might have to look because worst case, like I can just get rid of the get ignored locally. So
Mm-hmm.
what I always try to sort of remember exactly what they mean because when you don't do it for a while, I have I had to write a blog just to remember exactly what every symbol means. And if I go back here, that's like a sort of a memory refresh. That's the one. This is it. So technically, like, yeah, it's slow because I'm sharing. That's all. Yeah. So it's like just to avoid like the bad issues with get ignore, and usually uh, you need to avoid overly broad wild cards, recursive. This is recursive, right?
Yes.
So that's it. So like anything that has like two stars, that means like it goes through recursively.
Um,
So if you only want to ignore, for example, node modules, it's slash node module slash. But if it's like two stars slash, then that would be any subdirectory with
okay.
that name. Right?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, can you also can you take a look at it and see if that ignore is necessary? If it is not, just comment there. I will take a look again. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. No worries. No worries.
Um,
I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, I think that is pretty much of this to of today's community meeting. If there's no other questions, I think this is it. Um, any other
Just
questions?
one, yeah. So just one before we leave. Thought
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to hijack the session,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm planning to apply for another PR
Mm-hmm.
soon, and that's related to the benchmark.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yes, yes. So I tried the benchmark lately when I was running reasoning models on CoreWeave,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the current version of the multi-round QA Python uh, file
Mm-hmm.
is not compatible with reasoning models. It was breaking. It was not running for me.
Yes,
It's
I
one
think the
thing.
multi-run QA, yes, is not compatible with reasoning.
Right. So what
You
I
might
did
need to
lately is
modify
I
some code
transferred.
about it.
So that's the PR I'll be sending. So I
Mm-hmm.
did the fix, and it was working for GPT-OSS
Yep.
and 20B as much as for like a non-reasoning model. So like the change I applied would just make it run in any type of model, reasoning or not.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's a great fix.
yeah,
And I forgot to mention about it in our roadmap, but more benchmark is also part of our goal in 2026. More benchmark, more comprehensive benchmark towards different routing logic, towards different model. It's always will always be our one of our goals. But yeah, thanks for bringing this up.
yeah. I didn't know it was not compatible, so I ran into an issue, and then I had to use Cloud Code a bit for like, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
10, 15 minutes, and then I found the the bottleneck, and I made it so it can be uh, like model agnostic.
Yeah.
So this version can run with any model. When I have time, I'll just it's just a replacement because it's just one section of the script that needs to be changed, one function.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Once I have time, I'll be pushing it.
Yeah, I think the only change is the reasoning content, I would assume.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, the request.
mhm. Yeah, so any other questions? If no, I think that's it. Thanks all of you guys for coming, and thanks the one that are watching that we watch this recording. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yes,
Cheers.
I